on Dutchman.
Boom, and welcome to another video. Now, it's been a long trip. I am still on this journey, and Santiago is also still here with me, and we just landed in Perth after spending a month in Indonesia. Now in Indonesia we did bring 2 maces with us from Hong Kong, but we didn't really other than just flowing and creating stuff. I actually was part of facilitating one breathwork retreat, and the other one was actually a retreat where I went freediving, went up to 35 meters in depth, which was insane and has taught me a lot about myself, my fears, and all the things that tickle the nervous system, and actually how to quiet down. A lot about the diaphragm as well. So that's been very fascinating and also a good recharge for me, because that whole week was just spent talking about something else than maces and clubs. It was just about the breath, your glottis, and everything that's connected to your diaphragm, and how deep you can actually dive and what you have to do to hold your breath. And yeah, it's not your daily routine, right? But it's a good reflection of how I can do that sometimes about clubs and maces. As you've witnessed, or as you could expect, this video is going to be about, because me and this guy, Santiago, are walking towards the one and only Paul Taras Wolkowinski. Well, he'd be the reason why we're in Perth right now. We met up yesterday already a little bit, and you might have seen our prior videos that I made 2 years ago, which were fascinating, an indication of how good our connection is and how much fun it is to actually talk about a fellow creator in the space, and somebody who has influenced me and inspired me on so many levels. It's beautiful, it's beautiful. So we're excited to meet up with him again, shoot some more content, learn more about him and what he's teaching and how his health is at the moment. And it's going to be a great time here in Perth. So enjoy. We're here.
You're here.
We made it.
Welcome.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
It's beautiful. Wow. Yeah, no, it is. It's my gym, my workout room, and my peaceful room, if you like. Yeah. A lot of the clubs I've made myself, but I also got clubs that have been sent to me by different people for either for comment or for just as presents and stuff, which is nice. So it's interesting actually, because the first clubs that I ever had, I can't remember if I told you this, were these. These are 26 inches long. I mean, you can see by the length of this, if you compare it to something like that, it's huge. Yeah. That's 20 inches and that's 26. Yeah. But this is the ones I first started swinging and learning, and that's the ones I found the templates for in the Cobbett and Jenkins book. And it's interesting because it's got this. So
you made those yourself too?
No. I actually I wasn't making them at the time. No. I found a guy here in Perth who was in his 80s, sort of middle 80s. He made this one, that one, and the other, because these are all from Cobbett and Jenkins' book. Okay.
So there's these particular books that have all the measurements inside.
Yeah, no, it's the first book that I found that had any sign of Indian clubs in them and had the templates in them. So I mean, and I didn't know any better at the time. So I mean, I just said, well, just make them all, and that's what he did. And what's interesting now, since these were made, I have come to the conclusion that these are basically cut down jewelry. From the shape that they have, because the center of mass is sort of kind of in the middle here, whereas compared to a meal, the center of mass is right at the end.
But your meals are actually, they seem to have more weight at the end.
Yes.
So more than the ones that I usually have.
Right. I mean, it's just. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I fell into these meals when I was in Iran. I mean, these are all from Iran. Yeah. And I've basically copied the patterns and then made those. Those are from Korea. Those are from Korea also. Yeah, and I mean these are from Iran. But what's really bizarre is that when I first got them, these were 10 kilos. They're now 8 because they've dried out.
Yeah.
And then all of these progressively are lighter and lighter. You know, and it's really quite weird. The only ones that are constant is these ones I bought in Shiraz, and they have stayed at the same weight. So I mean, they're obviously the wood was dry when they were made, but all the others are made from wet wood. You know, and wood just literally the moisture evaporates from the wood, which is really funny.
Yeah, that is a very weird thing. Eh?
But
And the white ones have that too.
No. So these are made by Juhyun in Korea.
Yeah.
Okay, and like these ones here. But with these ones, you'll see that I actually changed the handles here because the handle was wide here, then it went narrow, then it went really wide at the top, just below the pommel. These ones are very, very nice to swing, but I find the handles a little bit thin. Because the interesting thing is, I mean, if you think about it, you know, when you grab hold of a meal, this is the largest circle in your hand, and the pinky finger makes the smallest circle. So to have the, hang on, so where's a good example? So I mean, you can see that this is a cone shape, so that, you know, the fingers go around here, so the widest circle is on the widest part of the meal, and then a narrow circle is with your ring finger around by the pommel. So, you know, it fits your hand really well, and it allows the meal, when it drops to the back, it slides down into that position, and then you bring it into the front position.
Yeah, Tom actually told me that when he was in Iran, he was told that the pink underneath the handle is not really a thing in most of the...
No, and that's true. I was told that too, simply because, going back to our conversation last night, that it's so tight in some of the zulkane and so small that you can't have two men standing there with the pinky underneath the finger, just in case his club comes up and hits my hand, and I mean, and you've got a suddenly crushed finger. So they hold them, you know, in a proper hammer grip, and then allow the hammer grip to go into a saber grip when they're swinging behind. It's interesting, but I mean, some do it one way, some do it the other way. I mean, it's but in the small zulkane, the really tiny ones, it's all hammer grip.
Hey Paul,
Yes.
it's been 2 years that I was here. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. You know, last year, 2023, was a lot of treatment for cancer and recovery. Very, very slow. So, I mean, I'm just going to show you. So, you know, I had to drop down mace-wise from my 10 and 12. I had to drop right down to a 3 kilo mace because I became so weak during the treatment and after the treatment. The point of view of club swinging, I mean, these clubs here are just over a kilo. Those are 2 pounds, so it's 0.9 of a kilo, and these are 1 pounders. But I decided to make clubs that would, to continue practice, that are the same size, so that it's a bit like competition kettlebells. They're the same size, but obviously lighter because I became so weak. But I mean, these are sort of, you know, this is a 1 pounder. I mean, you can feel how light that is. It's just 0.45 grams.
It's not very heavy.
No, but it still swings very well. You know, I mean, just again, I mean, you know, even with the Shenna, I mean, I was doing about 100 push-ups and split push-ups a day with these. And when after the treatment, I mean, I could barely do 10.
Right.
You know, that's the sort of effect that the treatment has on your body.
Over the years, I've found so much joy in creation. Light Club 6 is designed to bring that joy of creation to your screen. Through 3 sessions every week, you'll be exposed to increasingly challenging movement patterns with Indian clubs. In the first week, you'll learn about crossing swings. In the second week, you'll learn about parallel swings. And in the third week, you'll learn how to combine the parallel and the crossing swings. In the fourth week, you will master wrist circles. And in the fifth week, we'll dissect asynchronous swings. And lastly, in the 6th week, you'll learn how to combine the synchronous swings and the asynchronous swings. At the end of Light Club 6, the word beginner will not fit you anymore. Are you ready to structure and perfect the art of Indian club swinging? Join now at DutchFlowAcademy.com.
www.paultaraswolkowinski.com. Last year, they decided that I should have radiation, because basically the prostate obviously is right in the center here, and my cancer was discovered. There was no point in. I went to see a surgeon. He said there's no point in removing the prostate because the other tumors were there. So this was going back to 2017. So the decision was, first of all, chemo and testosterone blockers, because prostate cancer feeds on your own testosterone, believe it or not. So it's like your body eating itself, if you like. So last year they decided that rather than going through chemo again, they put me through radiation. So I had 39 radiation sessions. What they did, they implanted gold seeds into my prostate so they could locate where the prostate was. And then they would know where the other tumors were in my hips, target the radiation specifically into those areas. And that's quite a challenge, believe you me. So I used to get on my bike in the mornings here, and I used to cycle. It was a 20-minute ride down to the hospital. I used to drink 600 ml of water on my way down to the hospital, and pray to God that they weren't going to be late with treatment, because you can imagine being late with treatment. You're sort of standing cross-legged like this, wanting to compete. And I had to have the testosterone blocker again last year, at the beginning of the year, 4 months of it, which is one of the most unpleasant drugs I've ever had to take. I had 2 years worth of it originally, and then 4 months worth. And I'm more than likely going to have it again, as the treatment continues, because this is not the end of it. It's progressive. From last May till now, and I'm progressively working through all the gadas, gone up to an 8, and I'm swinging comfortably. I tried a 10 earlier on this week, and that was still a big effort.
What time do you then usually do that for? If you say you swing a 3 or a 6, what are your measurements?
I usually try to do 10 minutes.
10 minutes, right.
10 minutes. I used to do a lot longer, but ever since this cancer business has started, things have changed a lot.
Sure,
it's challenging it's really challenging on the body. It really is. And it just makes a huge impact on your body, and you have to just learn to deal with it. Don't give up, but keep moving. And I've learned from the first time round that drop down weight, and even with kettlebells. I've been. I couldn't swing my 12s, for example. I've only started swinging those maybe a month ago. So, it's going to be taking a few more, probably another month or so before I can get the strength to do that. I keep trying, but and because I don't want to hurt myself either. So, because you
don't want to overdo it.
I don't want to overdo it. Yeah. That's now, it was a 7. It's now 5. 5 per club, and this is 6 per club, and it was 8. So it doesn't matter. It just literally doesn't matter. And so toe squats, and I'm swinging also Indian clubs with squats, because a side effect of the testosterone blocker is that it affects your bone density. It could break a hip, or it could break a bone, and this type of stuff will make it even worse. So I'm very careful now, and I know. I've had my bone density tested, and it was right up there when it first started, and now I'm borderline osteoporosis. I love doing this. I said that in my sort of 74th birthday message, that I feel so fortunate and lucky that I found all these sort of disciplines as a form of exercise to start with, and then it became my therapy. And that really sort of keeps me going, and I just love doing it, basically. So and I've got this room, very lucky to have this room to be able to do it in. And I use the mirrors that I've got set up, because this mirror here is like in the Zurkane, they're set up. So if I stand in this position here, you can see my back clearly, and I can see what I'm doing at the back, and I also can see what I'm doing at the front. And it's sort of, Yes, I mean you can see from here, and I mean I can't see the full thing, but so that helps me monitor my technique. So it's not a vanity thing; it's just for technique purely, so that I can see what I'm doing. And I was really interested when I first went to the Iran. They have, I mean, not so much this mirror, but these angled mirrors, and you can see the guys, you know, when they're swinging mills, they're watching they're watching their technique, which I think is
it's
fantastic.
Really fantastic. Yeah. It's really powerful to hear your story. I know yesterday you shared a little bit about, you know, the other people that are in a similar state.
Yes.
And what really inspired me is, you know, your upward motion. And also your philosophy around staying active and doing your thing, and that is really I think it's really inspiring. And you know, if ever something happens in such a way, then I think you're going through it with the best way possible.
The best way possible, yeah, absolutely. You know, I want to be able to still reach for things up high. I want to be able to pick things up off the floor and so on. And so consequently, mobility is really very much part of what I'm doing. I mean, it's, you know, I mean, especially this, I mean, I find the split push-up really interesting because it's, you know, because you're on the floor and you're pushing up and you're pushing back also. That's, it just helps your hips move, and I was told by doctors that, you know, if I work on resistance style exercises with a bit of weight, not huge amounts of weight, but it'll help the density of the bones, basically. The mobile gym.
The mobile gym.
We're on the Swan River, just before the Narrows Bridge that goes south. And if you scan over there, you've got to take a shot of the swans.
The swans.
Yeah,
I heard that. I remember learning about the black swan theory.
Yeah.
And well, it's not true. Look at that. Those are black swans.
Yeah.
You got some beautiful tools for the trade. Over the years, I've found so much joy in creation. Light Club 6 is designed to bring that joy of creation to your screen. Through 3 sessions every week, you'll be exposed to increasingly challenging movement patterns with Indian clubs. In the first week, you'll learn about crossing swings. In the second week, you'll learn about parallel swings. And in the third week, you'll learn how to combine the parallel and the crossing swings. In the fourth week, you will master wrist circles. And in the fifth week, we'll dissect asynchronous swings. And lastly, in the sixth week, you'll learn how to combine the synchronous swings and the asynchronous swings. At the end of Light Club 6, the word beginner will not fit you anymore. Are you ready to structure and perfect the art of Indian club swinging? Join now at DutchFlowAcademy.com. Boom! Thank you for your attention. It's greatly appreciated. If you like the content, please consider to share, like and subscribe to my channel. If you want to see similar videos, you can see them over here. If you're interested in learning more from me as a coach, I've got online courses on DutchFlowAcademy.com. Keep flowing, Ram Ram.